Hi guys, and welcome back to the Knee Jerk live reaction stream, where we react to the current game week and also look ahead to game week 9 as well. So a lot to discuss in an interesting game week, we should say. Nevertheless, a lot of things did happen, but we will come on to all of that. But before we do start, I've got to ask you, how you doing, Jordan? Are you enjoying your weekend?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Hope everyone's having a lovely weekend and enjoyed the football for this game week. There is a huge amount to talk about, and it's going to be a very exciting analysis of how this game week has been.
Yeah, as you guys know by the thumbnail, and even the title, Son hat trick. But we will come on to all of that. But yeah, let's pull up our teams and how we performed in game week 8. Game week 8 has just ended, and now we do have an international break coming up, which probably good for have a break. But yeah, let's bring up the teams, Jordan. So I'll bring up my team first. As you guys know, I didn't wildcard this week. I took a -4, and it didn't really pay off, as I say so far. I'm on 51 points, -4, obviously. So, wait, is that correct? I'm just double checking how many points. 47 points. Yeah, that's correct. Sorry, just a -4. So yeah, I'm on 47 points, and so yeah, all in all, it hasn't been a good game week so far. But let me just quickly, talk about how it went. So I've got Ramsdale in goal. I wasn't actually expecting a clean sheet from Ramsdale. I thought Brentford would probably get a goal, but luckily for me, Ramsdale did get the clean sheet, and Arsenal played very, very well. Brentford were pretty poor that game, probably the worst they've played all season. And I thought Arsenal were pretty comfy from what I saw. And it didn't look like Brentford were going to get any goals. So very good win for Arsenal, and nice clean sheet for Ramsdale owners. And he's a bit of a differential. So he did kind of save me from an even more terrible game week. So I'm happy with the Ramsdale clean sheet. And then moving on to the back four, I did transfer in Perisic ahead of this game week 8. But unfortunately, he only got me 2 points because he got subbed off before the 60-minute mark. He also got a yellow card, and he also got -1 for the goals conceded. So Perisic gets an assist, but only ends up on 2 points, which is very disappointing, should we say the less. So yeah, that wasn't great from Perisic, just the 2 points, even though he got an assist. Cancelo, on the other hand, 9 points, clean sheet, and he got 3 bonus points, which I'm very, very happy about because he didn't get an attack in return. Yeah, he still got the 3 bonus. So very happy with Cancelo that he did get the 9 points, but he's very highly owned, so it didn't make too much of a difference for me there. And then moving on to Kyle Walker, he was on the bench as expected. I didn't think he'd play, and yeah, I just bought Kyle Walker was on my team, and I thought, you know what, I hope he starts, but he didn't. So yeah, 0 points Kyle Walker, and yeah, nothing to really talk about there. Trippier, on the other hand, did get me 5 points. I think with Trippier, I was quite happy that he did get assist. I know he's quite highly owned now as well by a lot of managers, but to get me 5 points with the assist, I was quite happy, and I thought, you know what, I'll take that all day long. Why not? But if you look at my back line, it wasn't a bad game week, in terms of, Cancelo got me 9 points, Trippier got me 5 points, Ramsdale also clean sheet, so I was very happy about that. But let's move on to the midfield, where it gets worse. So Kulusevski comes in for me, as everyone know that was watching my deadline stream. I did bring him in for -4, and he did get the assist, which I was very happy about. But when you look at the events that went on that game, 5 points from Kulusevski is a bit frustrating, if we're being honest. We're going to come on to Son with what he did, the hat trick in 13 minutes, I believe. So yeah, it wasn't great, because I was actually going to bring Son in. For anyone that was watching the deadline stream, Son was actually planned to come into my team, but I changed my mind last minute because I got the news that Son wouldn't start. So I went to Kulusevski, and now obviously it looks a bit bad, but no one could have saw that coming. Son coming off the bench, and he ends up getting a hat trick. So congrats to all you Son owners that did keep him, even though we got news that he'd be benched. So I'd say he's a bit lucky there, but I don't want to sound too salty, but yeah, Yeah, congrats to the Sun owners, but it was a like terrific performance for him. But for me, Kulusevski 5 points, and we move. Martinelli got the clean sheet point, no goals, no assists. So that was a bit frustrating that he didn't pick up anything. Because I know he was sold as well on the wild card by a few game week 8 wild carders. So it was unfortunate there. And then Andreas got me 1 point as well, which I couldn't believe because Fulham ended up scoring 3 goals. Yet Mitrovic, who we will come on to, and Andreas didn't get a single attack in return, which is pretty annoying. I mean, I thought, if I told you Fulham would score 3 goals and Andreas and Mitrovic wouldn't be involved, you probably wouldn't have believed that. And yep, that's the way it went. And Andreas did only pick up the 1 point. And then moving on to the forward line, he did get a bit better for me. I did have Captain Haaland, and when Haaland scored early on, and then they got the red card, I thought, here we go. You know what? It's going to be 3 or 4, 5 goals for Haaland now because the red cards come in. But it didn't go that way. I think Man City kind of took the foot off the gas, 10 men, and they kind of just, just played the rest of the game out. So 12 points for Haaland. I can't really complain too much. I know Kane did outscore him, and obviously we're going to come onto your team, Jordan. But I'm still happy I went Haaland. He's still got the goal, and he could have had another one at least. But I think Man City did kind of take their foot off the gas a bit later on that game. But they did win pretty comfortably. Wolves weren't great, and it was an easy win for City there, just making it look easy every week, it seems. And then Mitrovic, as I mentioned, did get the blank as well, which was quite annoying. Harrison Reed getting in the act and getting a goal. So yeah, Mitrovic owners unfortunate there. And then Jesus kind of helped me save a bit of my game week because if he didn't score, I would have well and truly been in trouble because he did kind of bail me out with a goal. He scored a lovely header into the far corner. And I was very happy to see that goal go in. He was also on 2 bonus points, Jesus, but he ends up getting a 90th minute yellow card and takes away those 2 bonus points, and then the rank drops even more. But I'm quite happy still with Jesus getting a goal, and he probably will be coming out my team ahead of game week 9 on the wild card because I am wild carding next week, guys. Game week 9 wild card is already active, so we will come on to that later on the video as well, and also during the international break, we'll have a lot of videos out on the wild card. But that is my team currently. This is my team for game week 8. 47 points. Obviously, I took the -4, so 47 points all out. And on the bench, I had players that didn't play. So I didn't wild card. I know it looks like it's probably been the wrong decision. Maybe if I did wild card, I probably would have got another 10, 15 points more. But the way I see it is I'm hoping to make that back next week and also the coming weeks because I feel like I'm 3 or 4 transfers ahead of everyone else because I've got Salah already in my wild card. I've got Trent, etc. on my game week 9 wild card, where game week 8 wild carders don't have Liverpool. They don't even have Chelsea, some of them. So I'm thinking maybe I can kind of make that back, but we'll see because obviously at the moment it doesn't look good for me. 51 points, 47 I should say, and yeah, that is my current game week 8 team. I'm going to read out some comments, so let us know how you guys did in the chat as well. Got quite a few of you in here. I got Brian says hi lads.
Hey,
hi Brian, hope you're well. Also guys, if you are just joining the stream, please do drop a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps our channel and we appreciate all your support. Adam says, hey Hassan Jordan, I got 71 points this week. Delighted. Thank you Saliba and Jesus. Well done, man. Obviously Saliba did get the goal and clean sheet as well, so yeah, well played. We've got Gravy Dave as well, says early thoughts, Bowen out for Diaz. What do you guys think?
Probably, yeah.
Salah. I'm gonna have Salah next week.
I mean, I'm assuming you already did have Salah, but you probably can get him back from another player who you've probably replaced him with. But from Bowen to Diaz is probably a good transfer, as Bowen today wasn't the greatest and West Ham weren't in great shape. And with Liverpool's fixture next is Brighton at home, Diaz seems like a nice transfer to make.
Yeah, Diaz does have a good fixture in game week 9. It's just, is it a 1 week punt? Because after that, Diaz's fixtures do turn as well. and Bowen's fixtures actually turned really good as well. So I know West Ham aren't looking good, but we're playing for the fixtures now, and you hope he gets into some form. Adam says on wildcard now, exciting times as a template shifts dramatically, and I can get some price rises and take the break dissecting it all. Yep, I'm in the same boat as you. I am going to wildcard in 9 as well. FPL Josh, do you want to take this one, Jordan?
Yeah, it says hi Huss and hi to me. For I have 425 points total for me, considering I took -8. I'm happy. 1 million rank, big green arrow. Congratulations, Josh, on your success after taking a -8. That's a very good finish, despite the massive hit that you took.
Yeah, I'll say this. You took a -8 and still got a green arrow, so you can't really complain there too much. Adam says, I couldn't bring in Son after his start to the season. He was even benched, pure luck and a punt well taken on him. He's always capable. Yeah, I pretty much agree. Chief says, lucky for me. We've got XYL as well in the chat. I'm just seeing anyone else that I've missed. Well, Kobe is all in the chat. He says, hello, lads. Hope you're doing well. Finished off at 62 points. Another good score.
Very nice.
And also we've got Linesh as well. I think West Ham team is saturated. Moyes will always keep new recruits on the bench. We'll discuss game week 9 and beyond. But yeah, I've just got my team at the way. My game week 8 scores. Jordan, you are next. Let's bring up your team and just talk us through how you done and how your week went.
Okay, so as you guys know, in the deadline stream, I did activate my wildcard, and this is pretty much my wildcard team and how it went in game week 8. So we'll start with the goalkeeper, who was Raya for Brentford. I wasn't expecting a clean sheet, obviously, from that Brentford game. I knew Arsenal would be a difficult fixture for Brentford, but I also thought vice versa. Brentford would give it a go against Arsenal at home. But it's probably the worst I've seen Brentford play this season. And I think it's their worst defeat so far this season at home, 3-0. So it was a pretty dismissal performance from Brentford at home. And Raya only got away with 2 points. But he did get an extra point for saves. So he got 4 saves in that game. So he made up for the goals conceded, where the -1 point was taken off him, which of course, leaves him with 2 points in total. So it's not a total loss from Raya. And he does have Bournemouth next, so maybe he can make up for that game. And then we move on to the back three. So we'll start off with Trippier, who did get the assist from the penalty given to Newcastle, which was very fortunate. So he got away with the 5 points in that game. They didn't keep a clean sheet, Newcastle. I was a bit shocked at the fact that Bournemouth did score in that game, but Newcastle in that game weren't the greatest. They were pretty neutral in comparison to Bournemouth. Like both teams kind of looked like they were going to score, but it just depended on which one was going to. But it ended up being a 1-1 draw for Newcastle. So it was a good return from Trippier despite that draw. I mean, but yeah, especially with his high ownership, we'll take anything for the points for Trippier. And then we move on to Cancelo, who got the 9 points. I feel like his bonus 3 points were quite justified. People argue that he doesn't deserve the bonus 3, but his defensive performance in that game was really good. And I feel like he really deserves those bonus 3 points for the effort he put into that game to keep Man City that clean sheet. But it was a nice return from Cancelo. But obviously, most people do have him again. He's highly owned. But still, it is nice to see a defender getting a lot of points and almost a double haul. And then we move on to the last defender, who I could say was a bit cursed for getting 2 points for Perisic. So the -3 points consisted of Perisic when he was benched, subbed off. He ran onto the pitch when Son scored, which therefore got him a yellow card for intervening in the match while he was not even meant to be playing in it. And obviously goals conceded for Spurs, that took another -1 point away. And obviously what was the last one for?
Well, you got yellow card, 2 conceded, Plus, he
Oh
didn't
yeah,
play 58 minutes, so I
oh
think he
yeah,
got
and
benched before the 60 minutes. So yeah,
yeah, bench before the 60 minutes. So which leaves him with 2 points, annoyingly, even though he got the assist in that game, and it made it look like he didn't get a return, but because of those -3 points, it just led him with 2. So it was a bit of a disappointment, but it was more than Nico Williams got me, so I'll take that. Every point counts. So we'll move on to the midfield, which was quite average. We got Andreas, who got the 1 point. All he got from that was a yellow card in that game, surprisingly. And I was shocked that he didn't get anything. And we'll move on to Mitrovic, who didn't get anything. But yeah, it was very surprising that Andreas only got 1 point in that game. But there's not much to say about that. So we'll move on to Martinelli, who obviously did play earlier on. He only got the clean sheet points and didn't get any returns from that game. So even though Arsenal won 3-0, he wasn't contributing to any of those returns. But maybe there is more fortune in the next fixture for Martinelli. And we move on to the interesting pick, because Maddison is the most differential player I have in my team, who is, I think, only 4.9% owned. And he did score against Tottenham, which was quite a nice goal as well, to beat Lloris just outside the box. And yeah, I didn't expect, obviously, Maddison to score in that game, but I did expect it to be a high-scoring game, which it was. But it was quite a bonus for Maddison to get the goal in that match, which led him to get the...
He scored a nice goal,
Yeah,
Maddison.
which obviously was a bonus to give him the 7 points for him. So I'll take that, because I think many people wouldn't have played Maddison against Tottenham, but it is quite a lively fixture, which it did turn out to be. And we move on to finally Kulusevski, who got the 5 points. Again, this was a bit frustrating again, because the way Liverpool were peppering Leicester with goals.
Oh, you mean Spurs?
Oh, sorry, sorry, Spurs. The way Spurs were peppering Leicester with goals, it was very unfortunate that Kulusevski only got the 1 assist from that game. I was expecting more, especially with Son benched as well.
Yeah,
The way
same.
Conte set up that formation, it was so attacking. You would have thought Kulusevski was getting a double haul in that game, but at the end of the day, he only got 1 assist and 5 points from that game. So it's still something in return from that. I'll be very more annoyed if he didn't get anything.
Yeah, obviously I've got Kulusevski as well, and I expected a lot more. I felt like, those returns Son got me, if he could have got a goal as well in there, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, maybe better luck next time for us. We move on to the front three, and this is probably another shock. Mitrovic does blank and gets 2 points despite Fulham scoring 3 goals. I could not believe it. I feel like it's a curse that I've just put upon Mitrovic now, as I did for Reece James when I brought him in. So
Yeah,
I do apologise for everyone, because I brought Mitrovic in. He obviously blanks.
yeah. You knew he was
So
going to blank this week when everyone's bringing him in.
yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about Mitrovic, but I'm sure he'll bounce back from that blank. Obviously, it's not like he's gonna blank more after we've all brought him in. I mean, that'll be just weird. But yeah, we'll move on to Haaland, who did get a goal for Man City. He got 6 points. I feel like he was a bit annoyed, because as it was half time, when the camera was panned to him, he did sort of slap it away from him, because he probably thought he was going to score a hat trick by half time, which I felt like he felt a bit frustrated by it. But yeah, he only got 6 points. I'm kind of fortunate that he only did get that 1 goal, because I feel that would have been terrible for my rank if he got more in that game.
Yeah.
And we obviously move on to the final topping to this dessert, and that is Harry Kane, who was my captaincy pick and was the best choice to go for in terms of my starting 11, because he did return 20 points with 1 goal, 1 assist, and the bonus 2 points, which pretty much tops the triple Spurs returns for my team, which pretty much put the finishing touch on my wildcard team. I mean, the 20 points was very nice from Harry Kane. I wanted more from Harry Kane, obviously, but Son got the hat-trick instead somehow in the 50 minutes he played, even though Harry Kane played the 90 minutes and he got 1 goal and 1 assist. but I'll take that. I mean, it did work out in a way. I just wished it worked out much more from Harry Kane, but the 20 points he did get me was good enough for me because it was more than Haaland did score if I did captain him. And that pretty much tops my starting 11 team and how it went. I mean, there's not much to say on my bench because Nico Williams only played, but also Ward did, but he obviously got 0 points, and then Nico Williams got 1. So it was all beneficial from the bench because no one really outscored anyone in my starting 11. And my current rank is just above 600k, and my total points is 62. So it wasn't a bad game week 8 for wildcarding in.
So green arrow for you as well then? You got green arrow, right?
Yeah, it's a massive green arrow from being 1.5 mil, I think, from game week 7. So I will take that green arrow very much.
Was you 1.1 mil, wasn't you, last week, if I remember?
I think so. It was 1 point something mil, but I was definitely in 1 million somewhere. But yeah, it's a nice green arrow.
Yep, there you go. That is your team out the way. So yeah, all in all, pretty good week for you. Obviously, the Kane captain shout went correct for you. He did outscore Haaland, which was probably good for you. Maddison done well for you as well, getting the goal. So yeah, that worked out for you. That was nice. I bet. We are going to read some comments out. Got quite a few comments that I also missed. Where was I? Linesh says he got 101 points on plus or minus 8. He bought in Son, Trippier, Kane, and Stones for a hit. Nice.
Wow.
Probably the highest I've seen on the chat so far. So yeah, guys, do let us know who likes how you scored this week and who your captain was as well. It's interesting to know. Did you all go Haaland? Did anyone go Son or anyone like that? Let us know. But yeah, those are the game week 8 scores out the way. We are going to quickly touch up on game week 9 as well and talk about our team for game week 9 and early plans. But we are going to bring it up. Shall I bring my team up first, Jordan, for game week 9? How I'm looking?
Yeah,
I have played a wild card already. It's active.
Yeah, I think you can show your team first as you are wild card in this week. It'll be interesting to see what you go with.
All right, let me show you what I've got at the moment. Let me share my screen. Bear with me for a sec, guys. I'm going to bring up my team now for game week 9. I am wildcarding. It is active already. And I've got something like this at the moment. Let me just add in the last player. Still waiting for Salah to drop in price so I can bring him in cheaper. But this is my wildcard team. Very quickly, obviously, I did this 2 days, or I think last night. Was it? No, I did it on Friday night, I believe. I did this wildcard team on Friday night, so I haven't changed anything. So this is literally from Friday night wildcard that I just quickly put together. So a lot will change. Obviously, I've got 2 weeks to tinker with because there's an international break. So in those 2 weeks, I still feel like 1 or 2 positions can change. But at the moment, I've gone Guaita in goal with Ward as my bench option. I've gone James, Trent, Cancelo, Trippier, and Botman as the defense, and that could also change. Definitely Botman. I'm not 100% sure he'll be in the team. Then in midfield 5, I've gone Salah, Bailey, Zaha, Maddison, and Andreas. And then up front, I've gone Solanke, Mitrovic, and Haaland. So that is my wildcard 9 team as of now. And I've also got 0.2 in the bank. And as you guys can see, the wildcard is already activated. So that is the early thoughts. Early thoughts regarding my team. I will be doing more videos going into depth about the wildcard Game Week 9 team. So do tune in next week. We'll have quite a few videos out on that. But that is the early. Let me just show you how that would look. Let me just make the transfers now because let me do confirm. Salah's in. Okay, let me show you how it lines up. So this is what I would look like for Game Week 9. So I'll have Ward. I'll play Ward because Guaita's got Chelsea that week. So I'll probably play Ward, which people might think, what am I thinking? Because he's pretty terrible. So he's in net. And then in the back 3, I've got James, who's got Palace away. I've got Trent, who's got Brighton at home. I've got Trippier as well, that has Fulham away. Now, as you guys can see, I've got Cancelo on the bench against Man United. So that I probably won't do that. I just don't know. I'll probably play Cancelo. I've got Andreas against Newcastle. Maybe I'll take Andreas out. Let me put Cancelo back in. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. So I've got James, Trent, Trippier, and Cancelo as a back four. And then in midfield, I've got Madison, Bailey, and Salah. Salah will probably be my captain, maybe. And then Mitrovic, Solanke, and Haaland up top. So something like this. Obviously, you'll have to tune in next week to see my official wildcard team because this is just early draft. So that is my current thinking. Do let me know, guys, what you think of this early wildcard draft that I made on Friday evening, straight after the deadline. And on the bench, I've gone Guaita because of his fixtures. If you look at Guaita, I think he's a very good goalie to have on a wild card game week 9 just because he's 4.5 million. You look at his fixtures. Okay, Chelsea's bad, so you just bench him for that. Then he's got Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, Southampton, West Ham, and then Nottingham Forest. And then we get unlimited transfers here because obviously it's the World Cup. So for the next, for the next 7 games, Guaita looks very good, and that's one reason why I did choose the wild card this week because I knew I wanted like Guaita or someone like that rather than going double Newcastle because a lot of people bought Pope in game week 8. So I'm liking that I have the choice to do that. Obviously, Trent allows me to bring Liverpool players back in. I know a lot of game week 8 wildcarders went without any Liverpool, so Trent comes back in for me, and then Salah as well. So and against Brighton at home, which is probably a good fixture. Solanke as well. I've got him against Brentford, which might be decent. I mean, the only reason I've bought Solanke in potentially for the game week 9 wildcard is his fixtures look quite decent, but that's just my thinking as of now. But yeah, that's how I'm lining up for game week 9, guys. If you've got any questions regarding this team, do drop it in below in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer it. Also, Jordan, we are going to bring up your team, how you look for game week 9, and also any early transfer plans you have. Because I'm wildcarding, you've got a free transfer.
Yeah.
So can you bring up your team for game week 9 and how you looking?
Yeah, I can bring my team up just now. So this is how my game week 9 team is looking like. So obviously Raya has Bournemouth away, which is a more comfortable fixture. And in general, Brentford's fixtures do improve as they've just played Arsenal. So they've got obviously Bournemouth next, they've got Newcastle, maybe a bit tricky, but Brighton and Chelsea, another tricky one. But then they got 3 nice green fixtures: Aston Villa, Wolves, and then Nottingham Forest. And then by game week 16, that's when their fixtures start to sort of change. But for the time being, Raya is a goalkeeper that I've gone for, just out of the other choice, which was Nick Pope, that I couldn't reach to. But my second option was Raya. But I do believe Brentford will start to keep clean sheets, as they haven't really kept many currently, but I'm sure that will change, hopefully. And then my back three consists of Cancelo, Perisic, and Trippier. You might be wondering why Perisic is actually on the starting 11 team. My transfer plans will defer whether Perisic is there or not, but for the time being, he's currently in my team until I tinker with it a bit more nearer the time of game week 9. In the midfield, we have Madison, who has a very nice fixture, not on a Forest at home. And that is just because of Madison having that fixture and the way fixtures run for Leicester now are really good, pretty much up to game week 13. Because obviously he has Nottingham Forest at home, then he has Bournemouth away, which are 2 great fixtures for Madison. And then he has Crystal Palace at home in game week 11, Leeds at home in game week 12. And then in 13, he has Wolves away. So it's 5 nice fixtures for Madison there, which I would say he could pretty much score in almost all of them, I would say. If he can score against Spurs, then yeah, he can really go for it in these next 5 fixtures. So that's why I did bring him in my wild card early, so I can benefit from his returns, which he's already started to return already.
Yeah.
And obviously, similar to Zaha, obviously he has Chelsea at home, which is a difficult fixture. But I will play him, I think, in game week 9 because after he's played Chelsea, which you would say Chelsea's defense hasn't been the greatest, so he could return in that potentially. But after game week 9, he has nice fixtures all the way until game week 18. So he is a really long player to hold, I believe, and that's why I did bring him in my wildcard also, just for the long-term hold for Zaha as long as he stays fit. But yeah, he has some really nice fixtures coming up after the Chelsea one, obviously in game week 9. And then we have Martinelli, who I've just kept in just to have one Arsenal player in my team, because I feel like if I don't go with any Arsenal players, it will feel a bit vulnerable in my squad. So I'll just keep Martinelli in just because he's still highly owned as well. He's still 47.9%. So almost half of FPL managers still own him in fantasy. So I think I'll keep him in for now and see how he does, even though he has Tottenham at home next. Obviously, Kulusevski, he was only in my team temporarily just for the Leicester home fixture. So I do have plans to take him out also. But I'll explain that after I've talked about the rest of my team. Obviously, it's a similar reason to Harry Kane as well. He was only a temporary hold for the Leicester fixture, but he won't be my captain against Arsenal away. I will discuss that also. And
I've got a few questions for your team, but I'll let you get finish with the rest of your team, and I've got a few questions.
Okay. Obviously, we got Mitrovic, who I bought him for the wild card, and because Fulham have nice fixtures as well coming up, and he's also a long-term hold. I mean, you can pretty much play him most of the season probably, because the fixtures are not too bad. You could probably rotate him around difficult fixtures like Man City in game week 15 and then playing for the rest, as he's capable of scoring in most teams as we've seen so far. And finally, we've got Haaland, who is irreplaceable at this moment in time for fantasy, because he has got 11 goals to his name now, and he has Man United at home fixture next week, which could be good for him. And yeah, I mean, he's not to get rid of him at all. 80% ownership, no chance he's getting out my team, so he's staying there. And obviously, my bench is Ward, Andreas Fofana, and Nico Williams.
Yeah, so
yeah.
So that's your wild card. Sorry, wild card. That's your game week 9 team. You do have obviously one free transfer. I will let you get on to. So what's your early transfer plans? You've got one free transfer. What do you want to do?
Okay, so if I just switch to my transfer tab, and I'll discuss what my transfer plans are for game week 9. So I have one free transfer with 1.2 money in the bank. So what my plan was for game week 9 is obviously I would take out Harry Kane and I would replace him with Tony, who has Bournemouth next, and that will use up my one free transfer, obviously, so I can't take any more, but I am going to take a hit potentially in game week 9, because I'm going to remove also Kulusevski for my team and bring back in Salah, because he has Brighton at home next, and I feel like if I go without Salah in that fixture and he scores, I don't know, like a hat trick, I feel like I'm going to really regret that. But even though he has tough fixtures after that, I think the Brighton at home fixture for Salah is really good, obviously on paper, and because of his ownership as well, he's dropped to 35.9%. It's crazy how low his ownership is, Salah, now, and you could say he's a great differential compared to what his normal ownership is normally for the season. So he's also due to drop in price as well. So I'm hoping by game week 9 he is 12.8 million. So I could just save that 0.1 before bringing him in, obviously, for these price drops. So that is my transfer plans, but it will require taking a -4 hit. But when I do obviously bring Salah in, he's obviously going to be my captaincy pick.
Yeah, I was also going to mention Salah is a bit of a differential for game week 9. That's how crazy it is at the moment, because everyone that wildcarded in game week 8 has took him out. Now game week 9 wildcarders potentially have that edge. If we do bring Salah in, but you've not got Trent, so you can't get Trent in unless you take a -8, which obviously you're probably not going to do. So if Liverpool do, I'm hoping Liverpool can get back to a good performance against Brighton, and it will help me out a lot if that they do, because obviously it'll help us the game week 9 wildcarders. But I think Salah in is a good move for you. But then you look at Salah's fixtures after that. Let me just bring up. Can you bring up Salah's fixtures very quickly?
Yeah.
So he's got Arsenal and Man City after that. So obviously, I haven't really thought about what I'm going to do in those games. But is there any way we can move Salah out again, where I can drop him for Arsenal and then Man City? But obviously, for you, that probably wouldn't make sense because if you bring him in now and then you remove him again next week,
Yeah.
you've just spent a -8 potentially to bring him in and then take him out again. Whereas I can just take him out next week. For example, let me bring up my team. If I was to take Salah out, so because Arsenal and Man City is 2 tough games for Salah here. I know he can still return in them. Don't get me wrong, but he probably won't be captain in those weeks. So I'm not completely against taking Salah out for Arsenal and City. I'll have to wait and see, but just early thoughts on that. And then Salah's fixtures, I think after game week 12 look pretty favourable. So yeah, we've got to wait and see how what Salah does against Brighton. Because if he doesn't perform well or doesn't get a return against Brighton, then I think it will put a lot of people off. And then maybe they don't bring him back in till game week 12 or even 13 against Nottingham. But West Ham looks like a good fixture as well with the way they're playing at the moment. And that's at Anfield as well. So there's a quite a big debate about Salah. I still think he's a good differential for us, that have got it, that are going to get him in the wildcard 9 team. Let us know, guys, what your plans are with Salah. Are you going to bring him in because he's got Brighton, even though he does have Arsenal and Man City back to back in game week 10 and 11, which are 2 tough games for Salah? Or are you going to wait until game week 13 when he's got West Ham and then bring him in? What's your plans with Salah, guys? Let us know in the chat. Also, we do have about 15 viewers live at the moment. So can all of you please do drop a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps us. It really helps our channel, and also really appreciate all your support, guys. So yeah, please do drop a like if you can. We've got TH11 who says if Salah flops next weekend, he's getting out my team. Hizami says Salah is a big game player, the FPL GOAT. Adam says great differential. Salah is first name on my wildcard. So there is a bit of a I don't know, a difference of opinions on Salah, because some people think, a lot of people I've seen have said Salah, he's not playing well. Liverpool haven't been at their best. Salah's not been at his best. We can ignore him for Brighton maybe and just hope he doesn't do anything that game week. And then Arsenal and Man City, we can go without him and then bring him in again in game week 12. I've seen people say that, but I think I'm going to have him against Brighton just because I feel like he's a differential for that game, and then maybe look to take him out. But obviously, I'm interested to see what your plan is, Jordan, because you're going to bring him in for Brighton. Are you going to keep him for Arsenal the week after?
Probably yes, because as you mentioned, it would be like taking a -8 if I did remove him again for the Arsenal fixture and Man City one. So I think if I do bring him in game week 9, it will be for the long run. I mean, I feel like he is a better captaincy pick in game week 9 than Haaland, who has Man United, which could be a challenging fixture for him, because obviously Man United and Man City is a massive game for both teams, and the history between them and the results. But again, Haaland has broken records so far with his goal achievements. But again, I think Salah can return as well from that game, and I feel like in Brighton at home, sort of like Liverpool's redemption from playing not their best. It's probably the first game we'll probably see Liverpool at their best, I imagine.
Okay. So your current plan is obviously bring Salah in for a -4, and you are going to captain him.
Yeah.
Interesting. Can you bring up your team on FPL.team as well? Well, let's do a bit of tinkering in FPL.team, because Man City also have a blank game week in game week 12 as well as Arsenal. Have you kind of navigated that? I'll bring up my team for now, and I'll let you do your ID and everything. Then I'll bring up your team. Because we have to keep in mind, guys, in game week 12, Arsenal and Man City are blanking. So that fixture's gone off. And how we're going to navigate that? Because we've got Cancelo. Well, a lot of us have Cancelo. A lot of us, everyone has Haaland. Some people have Martinelli as well. So are you going to bench all 3? So I like using FPL.team just because it lets me plan my moves in 2, 3, 4 weeks in advance. But I'm just going to show on the screen Jordan's team and what his current plans are. I'll let you
So
bring that up.
I'll just put my ID in now. So
Okay, yeah,
and
that's fine. Because I want to show people on here like how it would look. You just do your transfers week by week, and let's see how you
okay.
look ahead when you get to game week 12 or game week 13. Um, got a few comments I'm going to read out, so I'll let you do that, Jordan, first. TH11 says Madison in for Dunk, bringing in Crystal Palace players and keeping them till the World Cup. I mean, I like Madison in because, as Jordan has mentioned, you look at Madison's fixtures. He's got Nottingham Forest next, which looks lovely. You know, at home. You know, I know Leicester haven't played well and they've been pretty bad, but you're hoping that Madison can still pick up goals like he has against Spurs. So Nottingham, then Bournemouth, then Palace, then Leeds and Wolves. Doesn't have a tough game on paper, you'd say, until Man City in game week 14. So Madison's fixtures, I think, he's a good long-term hold. And you could easily hold him to the World Cup in game week 16, where we get unlimited transfers, and then take him out ahead of that. So for the next few fixtures, I think you got to have Madison potentially. Even Barnes, you could double up. I've seen some people say you're going to double up because they've got some good fixtures coming up, even though Leicester are playing pretty poor. Yeah, Madison in for Gross. I think that's fine. Jordan, back to your team.
Yep.
So that's how you're looking for game week 9, right? I'll
Yeah,
just let you do your transfers. Just do your planned transfer move. Salah in for Kulusevski for a hit.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just remove Kulusevski and bring in Salah.
Any more comments? I'm just going to read out. We've got Hizami. He said he's forgot about the blank in game week 12. Yeah, for people that don't know, Man City do blank in game week 12 along with Arsenal. So do bear that in mind, guys. We're going to have to navigate that as well. Okay, so you've done that. That's a hit and you got 0.6 in the bank. Just let's see how you look for game week 10.
Okay, so if I press next to game week 10,
if you go, are you playing Perisic then against Arsenal? Game week 9?
Yes, because on the bench, my options are either.
And also that was the worry with Fofana, because I did raise that. I thought Fofana he's a rotation risk now, because you could play Fofana and bench Perisic, but would Fofana start? Because Palace, it could be a decent fixture for Chelsea's defense. Maybe they could nick a clean sheet, but I mean, you could take the risk and just play Fofana and hope he does something in that game, basically.
Yeah, I could take the risk and play Fofana. I just want to switch the Zaha of Andreas here because rather playing for Chelsea. But yeah, I could play Fofana and then bench Perisic if he doesn't play. I mean, Fofana has had a lot of rest. He didn't play in the other competitions that Chelsea have had, so maybe he plays first in that game for Crystal Palace away.
Yeah, we'll have to see, because obviously they got Potter now, and he didn't play him in the Champions League. So yeah, maybe let's put Fofana in for now. Then let's say you put Fofana in and bench Perisic in game week 9. And if he doesn't start, you've got Perisic to come in. How are you looking for game week 10?
For game week 10, I'll just show you now. So
can you just X that ad at the bottom?
Yeah, they keep coming. Back.
Yeah, on that corner. Yeah, it should go. Yeah,
I did not know that. Okay,
so is that how your game week? Also, was that game week 10?
Yeah, this is game week 10. How it looks.
All right, let's see. So you got Raya against Newcastle. I mean, that's not bad. So you got one free transfer again. What's your plans for game week 10? Have you thought that far or?
Yeah, my game week 10 transfer would be to take out Perisic now and bring back in Reece James, who I did have originally before Perisic.
Okay.
And obviously, I'll play Reece James over Fofana.
Interesting. So that's your one free transfer. I mean, the rest of your team looks pretty good. I mean, Arsenal play Liverpool.
Yeah.
And you've got Martinelli and Salah. Maybe only the issue there, but it could be fine, playing both of them if you're happy with that.
Yeah. I might
You
play.
could,
I could play Fofana over Martinelli, but
yeah, and I'd probably just play Martinelli and just pray you get something in that game.
yeah.
But okay, let's say you're not gonna take a hit for that week. Let's
No.
say. Let's move on to, was it game week 12 now? So this is where it gets a
11.
bit interesting. Oh no, sorry, game week 11.
Yeah.
All right, let's say game week 11. You've got Liverpool and Man City playing in game week 11. So
Yes.
have you
So
thought about anything what you're gonna do for that week? Because could we take Salah out potentially and bring in who does, I'm just saying, who does Tottenham have in game week is that game week 12 game week 11, Jordan?
yeah, that is game week 11.
All right, let me just double check who Spurs have in game week 11. Why is this not working? Okay. So in game week 11, the best fixtures, I mean, Arsenal play Leeds, so that's not a bad fixture. Chelsea have Villa. Just to check, Spurs have Brighton away in game week 10. So it could be a good fixture. So let's just see what's your plans.
So pretty much this week, I feel like I can escape with rolling because I don't really want to take anyone out in game week 11. And the way the fixtures run, it's only really Salah and Haaland that have a difficult fixture in game week 11 too. So with those two in mind, I don't think I want to. Well, I could potentially take out Salah for that week, but apart from him, there's no one really else I would want to take out really because everyone
Okay.
has a decent fixture in game week 11. So I could probably roll a transfer, which was my original plan to do.
All right, and then let's switch to game week 12 now. So how will you line up for game week 12? Also, the people that don't know, this is FPL.team. It's a website. We're not sponsored or anything. It's just a really good website where it lets you plan your transfers ahead. So it's a really useful tool to use, and it's free. Also, guys, just before you do start, Jordan,
Yeah.
we've got Hizami here. It says, don't forget to like the stream, guys. It helps out the channel so much. Yeah, guys, can't I don't ask for much, but if you guys can please drop a like, that's all we need, and that really helps the channel out so much. So yeah, thank you guys for all the likes, and yeah, do like the video if you haven't already. But yeah, what were you saying, Jordan?
Okay, so obviously we know the blanks for for Arsenal and Chelsea. So I do have 3 blanks from Cancelo, Martinelli, and Haaland.
Mhm.
So in that situation, obviously my bench will cover those blanks if all goes as planned. So I'll just remove all the players that are blanking so that we get
Okay.
a better perspective on game week 12 and how it looks. So
You've also got 2 free transfers, by the way, so you could use 2 free transfers and change
yeah,
your whole structure up. Because do you want Tony against Chelsea? I know maybe you do. Do you want to play? Do you want to play Andreas? I mean, Villa. You probably do want to play him.
yeah, probably. I'm not giving Ward the benefit of the doubt at all, unless I see some amazements from him. But yeah, Tony was my transfer that I was potentially making in game week 12, just because of I think obviously by 15 their fixtures will turn bad after that. But just for that fixture, I was thinking of moving Tony. And I'm trying to remember who I thought I was bringing in for Tony for that game week.
I mean, Leicester have good fixture against Leeds. Bournemouth play Southampton. Villa have Fulham in game week 12. Who's the standout captain option? You say Salah is definitely, isn't he, against West Ham at home as well? Because Haaland doesn't play, so I'm assuming everyone's going to go Haaland. Sorry, everyone's going to go Salah. And also Spurs play Manchester United in game week 12, so you're not going to captain a Spurs player in game week 12.
No,
I don't think.
I think Salah's an easy captaincy pick in that fixture, especially with West Ham at the moment. And yeah, because Haaland's not got a fixture, and obviously Jesus doesn't have a fixture either, so you can't captain those two. So yeah, it's only really Salah as a captain choice in that week.
And you'd be cool playing Nico against Brighton or Fofana as well, who might not even be starting, which is a slight worry maybe.
Yeah, I think when I was deciding this, I think it was either Fofana or Tony I was removing, because I think I was removing Fofana for someone else. I just can't remember who it was, because obviously I did this earlier on and I was
Yeah.
tinkering around with it and I was hoping it would save, but it didn't. Otherwise, this would have been perfectly set up for this
Also,
for this video.
you might want a Newcastle attacker. Newcastle play Everton in Gameweek 12 at home as well. So you could bring in a St. Max. You could bring in a Isak.
That's what I was going to do.
But
Isak.
Wilson, if he's back in time.
That's who I was going to bring in for that fixture. Now I remember. It was Isak for Tony.
Okay, there you go. So, and also you'll have another free transfer. So that's one transfer you've used.
Yeah, I'll probably only use one free transfer, I think, for Game Week 12. I think I'll keep the second one.
Trent, would you want Trent back, potentially? I mean, it's going to be quite hard for you to get to Trent unless you sell Cancelo, because Trent has West Ham in Game Week 12, and then he's got Nottingham Forest in Game Week 13. So you might, I don't know, you might want to bring Trent in at that time. But obviously, we're looking at very far ahead at the moment, and things are going to change. People are going to get injured, but it's just very, very roughly, we're telling people to do plan for the next couple of weeks, because Man City and Arsenal do blank in Game Week 12. So you got to make sure your transfers are planned. So when that does happen, you can either bench Haaland or even get rid of Cancelo. So you guys couldn't, navigate that blank game week. But any thoughts of bringing Trent back in, Jordan, ahead of West Ham, Nottingham Forest, etc.?
I mean, it all depends on, because this is the case, the fact that let's say Liverpool don't improve and they're still struggling. This is what my team would look like without Trent. I haven't really given thought into it in consideration if Liverpool do get back up on the saddle and start performing again and getting clean sheets and returns, obviously, from Trent. So I might have to sort of figure out how I could get Trent back in my team with not really taking a hit. I would really want to do it with 2 free transfers rather than taking a -4.
The only way you can actually do it is you can get rid of Cancelo, but then Cancelo has good fixtures after his blank. So Cancelo has Brighton at home in Game Week 13, then Leicester away, Game Week 14, and then he's got Fulham at home in Game Week 15. So you don't really want to get rid of Cancelo in after Game Week 13. He's got good fixtures, as you can see there on the screen. So you definitely want Cancelo. So you're not going to take him out. You don't really want to take James out, because if you bring up James's fixtures, Jordan, he's got great fixtures, I believe, as well. Game Week 13. So he's got United, Brighton. I mean, maybe you could take James out. Man United, Brighton, Arsenal, Newcastle.
Yeah, I could take James. That depends on how Chelsea are doing that far into the season. Obviously, we don't know about Chelsea as well, how they're going to do with obviously the Brighton manager coming into their team. But for the time being, that's how it looks.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just some food for thought,
Yeah.
Just letting people think and see what they're going to do in the coming weeks. But yeah, it was interesting to see. Obviously, long way to go. We're still a few weeks away, so a lot of us will get these plans, sorted. But it's nice to plan early, I think, and it just lets you kind of know how your team will look in that week. We've got Chief in the chat says, like the stream, guys. Yep, please do like the stream. FPL Penguin also, shout out to him. Subscribe to the Duo Lads and smash the like button too, guys. So yeah, do drop the like and also just click the subscribe button if you can as well. Any questions? Ara, welcome. I'm thinking of bringing in Rodrigo if any hope starts for Game Week 9. Well, yeah, we'll have to see. Obviously, he did get quite a serious injury, I believe, with a dislocated shoulder. So if he's back, I think he could be a good option as long as Bamford is still out. And FPL Penguin as well, hoping Salah is still under 40% come Game Week 9. Yeah, we've chatted quite a bit about Salah, that he's a bit of a differential, isn't he?
Yeah, he probably will be still under 40%. So I don't think many people will bring him in just for the Brighton home fixture. I think people will just go without him until after he's gone against Man City and Arsenal, and then maybe think about bringing him back in.
Okay, so that was us. Well, that was Jordan's team, and we were just tinkering ahead of the coming weeks. I'll bring up my team again. So, guys, the wild card is active as of for anyone that has just joined the stream. I am playing my wild card in Game Week 9. Um, this is what my team looks like currently. I've just done a quick draft. This was from Friday night. So a lot will change because we've got 2 week international break. So I'm probably going to be just sitting at home and planning my transfers and what I'm going to do. But most of it should be fairly similar. You know, maybe Bailey can go out or someone like Botman. There'll be slight changes, but just very quickly, Ward in goal, James, Trent, Trippier, and Cancelo at the back four. I've gone with the midfield three of Madison, Bailey, and Salah as my captain. And then Mitrovic, Solanke, and Haaland up top. And then on the bench, I've got Guaita, who's got good fixtures after game week 9, so from 10 onwards. Botman, Andreas, and Zaha, because Zaha's also got good long-term fixtures. So that is my current wildcard 9 draft. But we're going to have another wildcard video out or probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. And Jordan will do his own draft as well for Game Week 9 if he was to wildcard, and I'll do it and we'll compare it together. So do tune in next week for that one. We are probably going to wrap the video up soon. We've got a few more comments coming in. FPL Penguin says he likes Madison captain v Forest last game of the Game Week 2. Interesting shout. Not really thought about that. Have you? What do you think of that, Jordan?
I mean, I'm pretty scared to captain Madison against Nottingham Forest, as I've seen a lot of people captain Mitrovic against Nottingham Forest, and that didn't turn out that well. So I would be very. It'd be quite good though to do it. It'd be very risky. I mean, against Nottingham Forest, but
I just don't trust Leicester.
I don't. Yeah, I don't trust Leicester, and
I mean, Madison will probably score though. I mean, he could
Yeah.
easily score. He's like the only one that is kind of like a goal threat at the moment. But I just think Brendan Rodgers is probably on his last bit of string, and he probably will. He's under big pressure now. But I don't know. Any Leicester fans in the chat? I know one of you guys in here is a Leicester fan. To let us know. What's the situation with Leicester? Can Brendan potentially lose his job? Because that might make things interesting as well. If they get a new manager in, maybe they get a new manager bounce, and then because they got good fixtures coming up. But the way they're playing right now, where are they in the table?
Leicester. They're bottom of the table. They got 1 point. They haven't won a game yet this season. They're the only team this season that hasn't won a game yet.
Yeah, it's not looking good. That is my worry. Just captaining Madison. I think he will probably score. Well, he definitely can score as he proved against Tottenham. But I think Salah against Brighton at home, and a lot of people aren't going to have Salah. I think I'm definite on Salah. I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, then again, Haaland against United could be good as well. All sports fan Adam, is it okay to have Awoni or Johnson instead of Mitrovic on wildcard? I think Leicester game could end 3-3 or 4-4 with Forest. Damn. I've not thought about Awoni. I mean, Johnson. I mean, can you bring up Nottingham's fixtures, Jordan? Somehow.
Yeah, I can bring him up somehow. I think I have Nico Williams here, so.
Oh yeah, just show his. I'll quickly show you guys. We'll compare. So I'll compare Fulham's fixtures with Nottingham. So here's Fulham's fixtures first. Fulham got Newcastle, which I mean it's a bit of a tough game if we're being honest. Newcastle defensively don't really concede too many goals. West Ham are looking pretty poor right now. Just got beat by Everton as well today. Bournemouth is a good game. Villa in game week 12. Leeds in game week 13. Everton as well in game week 14. And then City and Man United in 15 and 16, where you could probably get rid of him in game week 15. How does that compare to Nottingham Forest, Jordan?
Well, compared to Nottingham Forest, we have Leicester away in game week 9, Aston Villa at home in 10, Wolves away in 11, Brighton away in 12, and then the fixtures get a bit difficult with Liverpool and Arsenal back to back, and then the fixtures get a bit better after that in 14 and 15, and then difficult again in 17 18 with Man United and Chelsea. So
yeah, I mean, 13 and 14, it doesn't look great. Even 12, Brighton. I mean, depends what Brighton are up to these days after Potter's gone. Are they going to be as good? But yeah, I think you've got to go. I mean, Mitrovic's fixtures, I think, are just better, really. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just bring up his fixtures properly and zoom in. I don't know if you guys can see that properly. Mitrovic, just at the moment, guys, also only focus on game week 16. Don't go looking ahead of game week 16 because after game week 16, we get unlimited transfers because of the World Cup. So just look at from now to game week 16 and you look at Mitrovic. get rid of him in game week 15, and the next couple or the next few, half dozen look pretty good. And I'm definitely having Mitrovic in my team. I think I've not really considered Nottingham, if I'm honest. For
No,
me, Mitrovic is in, really. I've not debated that one.
I think with Nottingham Forest, they're only really worth going for if they're against teams like Bournemouth, Fulham, like for example, or teams like where they can they've been against them in obviously the league down below Premier League and have managed to get wins and chances against them. But with Premier League teams, you can't really give them an option to go for, really.
Yeah, Nottingham. I mean, let me see. I've got a few more comments coming in. Got Nanje as well in the chat. Welcome to him. He says he's got 65 on a game week 8 wild card. That's not bad. Fair score. If Leicester lose to Forest, he's gone. I'm assuming he's about Brendan. I hate Ward so much. I changed to Iverson in my wild card. I think we all probably hate Ward. And even though I'm starting him, I'm starting Ward in game week 9 as of now, but that could still change.
That would be the match where he gets the clean sheet.
Yep, that's how FPL works. Adam says Mitrovic fixtures seem amazing. Yeah, I think everyone's on Mitrovic, and I think at that value, 6.9, I think he's at the moment. I think he's due a rise, or is he 7 now?
I think he's 6.9, I believe. Let me just double check. I don't know if he did rise or not.
6.9.
He's still 6.9. So,
but at the price bracket,
yeah,
you can't really go wrong. I don't think.
No.
Another interesting shout, as you guys, I've not really spoke about him. Just very quickly before, I've put Solanke in my game week 9 team, and people a lot. This will raise eyebrows. Obviously, plays for Bournemouth, who are probably one of the worst. Well, they probably are the worst team in the league, bar Leicester, as of now. But the reason Dominic Solanke is in my team is because he's 5.7 million, which is pretty cheap as it gets. And you look at Bournemouth's fixtures till the World Cup. Brentford at home, Leicester at home, Fulham away, Southampton at home, West Ham away, Tottenham at home, Leeds away, Everton at home. So I know Bournemouth will probably lose majority of those games, but I'm hoping he nicks a goal or two in those games because he's got good fixtures. So that is my hope with bringing in Solanke ahead of those fixtures. And I know that Bournemouth will probably lose, but I'm just hoping he can nick a goal and just tick along at 5.8 million. Sorry, 5.7 million. If he was a 5.7 midfielder and he had those fixtures, you'd probably bring him in. So that's the way I'm looking at the moment. I think he's probably going to come definitely into my wildcard team. But I will talk about wildcards in depth later this week. But yeah, we are going to wrap it up here. We've been going live for about an hour. I think, yeah, just over an hour now. Fulham have scored 6 of their last 7 PL games. Leicester problem is only their goalkeeper. James Justin was quite good. He could come in, but Leicester defense right now, it's not looking good. Fatalities in the chat, still popping. The Duo League, 58 all out, no chips, no hits. Well done.
Okay. You're doing very well.
All sports fan Adam as well. Seeing Ward since game week 1 in my team hurts more than my broken leg in the hospital ward. That guy just hurts my eyes. I also had him in Sky. What a disaster. Yeah, Leicester have been pretty. He doesn't look like a Premier League goalie. Pretty much.
No, he's definitely not up to standards of Premier League in terms of a goalkeeper. But I mean, arguably, he had to go there because there was no other option for Leicester, obviously, with Schmeichel leaving.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a nice one. Nice chatting to you. We are going to probably wrap the stream up here, guys. Adam says, great stream, bros. Keep smashing that like and subscribe button. Yeah, thank you, Adam. We always appreciate your support and love. But yeah, guys, do smash that like button and also the subscribe. And yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add, Jordan? We're going to probably wrap it up here.
Well, obviously, I hope everyone had a nice game week and obviously a green arrow from this game week, despite how it's gone from some people, maybe not the normal carders that have just about escaped the dreaded red arrow. But thank you, everyone, for your comments in the chat and for obviously subscribing as well and liking the videos. It was all appreciative. So thank you for all your support.
Yep, thank you to Jake as well. It says, big up you guys, bro. Keep doing your stuff. Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate every single one of you that has started interacting in the chats as well and watching the videos. And yeah, we are out, guys, for today. We will be back again, Jordan. I think on what day are we back? Probably Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday, we're gonna have a wild card game week 9 video out for you guys, and that should be a very good one. So do tune in for that stream. Should be a good one. And I know football's over now until the World International break, the dreaded international break that we all hate. But it lets us, just kind of get a break from football and do other things and yeah, enjoy our time. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. Let us know what you guys think in the comments about our picks and stuff for the wild card. We're interested to hear your comments. But yeah, Jordan, we're out. Let me just get the intro out. Yeah, so guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever that is. Follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. The FPL Duo on Twitter. So yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care, and have a good international break, and we'll be back soon. Thank you.
Yeah. See you guys. Take care and have a nice time off.